ITTV show. Amy Whitney here with a very, very special story today. My guest, Jacinda Martin, has displayed to me a level of courage, strength, determination, love that I have never ever seen in another human. I can honestly say that. Her ability to transcend, it has blown me away. If you have 30 minutes to spare, I cannot recommend enough to take the time to listen to what this beautiful, beautiful woman has to say. Her story is an inspiration. I'd like to welcome Jacinda Martin today, really special guest. Now, I'm not going to do much of an introduction because I just basically have invited you here today to hear your story. And I guess where I'd like to start with would be 1992, I suppose, is a good place to start. Now, it was your first pregnancy in 1992?
Yep.
Yeah, and maybe just start from there, you know, when you conceived or just the experience of being pregnant for your first time.
Yeah, and I guess it would have been in 1992. I was married for about a year, and we were looking forward to our first child. And a sort of a strange sort of sense through that entire pregnancy was definitely felt. My mother always told me I was just overreacting, and first pregnancy and pregnancy nerves and such. Yeah, I just had a sense that there was something not quite right or something was going to happen. So I had a fairly strong sense as the pregnancy continued and the further along I got that there's something significant going on that I didn't quite really understand at that time. So yeah.
So the pregnancy was healthy and you know, like when you went for your ultrasounds and
yeah, there was nothing, no need for me to worry, and everything was on track the way it was supposed to. Baby was growing well, mom was feeling good. Just this sense that there was, you know, something going on that I couldn't quite explain at that time.
So let's take it to October 24th, 1992. On that day, you're getting ready to go out. Tell me what you were experiencing on that day as you were about to get in your car.
That day I really had a strong sense of somebody tapping me on the shoulder saying, you know what, don't go out anywhere today, or maybe just stay home. And my husband at the time had a hockey game that evening, and he played in just a local pickup league. And I said to him, you know, I just don't feel very well today. I think I'm going to stay home. And I only had a few weeks to go, I think 2 weeks or so before my due date was. And so he went to hockey. I was sort of scrambling around the house, and I got a phone call, and I was asked to take something over to someone's house that they needed something that I had borrowed. And I really didn't want to go, but they really needed this. So I hung up the phone and felt really uncomfortable about the whole idea of leaving. So I thought, okay, take a shower and you'll feel better about this. And I just thought, maybe I'm just not feeling well. So I took my shower and got dressed. I remember putting on a brand new sweater I had bought, and got my things together and was contemplating calling them back, saying, you know, I just can't come. And I thought, why are you being like this? This is crazy. And I looked around my kitchen, and I had a real sense like I wasn't coming back, and just, yeah, a very strong sense of being uneasy. So into my car I got and started to cry, and I didn't understand what was wrong with me. And then I thought, wow, it's just because you're pregnant and you're overreacting, and what's the matter with you? And I drove out my laneway. We lived on a farm at the time, so I had two side roads to drive to, and I got to the second side road and approached a stop sign on the other crossroad, and a young boy drove through the stop sign and T-boned my car, and my car ended up in a ditch. And at that point I realized why I wasn't supposed to leave, or what the sign was that I didn't need to leave the house. So yeah. And
when you were in the car in the ditch, were you conscious?
I had lost consciousness for a brief period of time, and then there was a woman outside of my car who said she was a nurse and was talking to me and asking me if I was all right, and asked for if I needed some help. was asking for a phone number. I don't remember a whole lot more than that. I think I explained where my husband was at the time and my parents. And nobody recalled seeing this woman or hearing from this woman or knowing who this woman was. So I don't really know who she was or where she came from, but it's in the middle of nowhere out where I was.
Do you have any thoughts about her now? Like, do you think it was a spirit or...?
At the time, I didn't put much thought to it.
Right.
But over the years, it has crossed my mind more and more as many other things have sort of come of this whole accident of mine and opened my eyes to perhaps it was. Yeah. I'd like to think so, just because there was no other explanation, and she had a very calming effect and really brought me some peace while I was in my car, and definitely not in a good place.
Beautiful. And so I take it you were brought to emergency by ambulance, is that?
Yeah, at that point in time they got me out of the ditch and I was taken to the local hospital, which I was then told that my daughter had died and my injuries that I had sustained were life-threatening, and they airlifted me to a Toronto hospital. It happened to be the night the Blue Jays won the first World Series, so there was lots of commotion in Toronto, and yeah, I actually was planning to watch the game that night. So yeah, I was airlifted, and then they took me to St. Mike's, where I was put on life support and spent some time in the ICU ward. Yeah.
And your daughter who passed away, you had to deliver her, is that correct?
Yeah, a few days later when I was stable enough and the hospital felt like it was a safer procedure for me to handle at that point in time, they induced me, and yeah, she was born 2 days later.
So you had a natural birth.
Mm-hmm.
And the experience around that, your family was there, or?
Yeah, we had, my immediate family was welcome to come and see Caitlin and hold her and spend a little bit of time with her. So they all had that opportunity. And it was really nice that my grandparents could be there, and my mom and dad and my brother and a couple of my cousins and some aunts and uncles came to the unit to see her. Ironically, my father's mother had a stillbirth baby, which was whisked away back in the wartime, that she never got to hold or see. So she was there, and she got to hold our daughter, and I think it was somewhat healing for her at the same time as being very sad.
Mm-hmm. And while you were going through this birth process, your own injuries, what were they?
I had a leg injury, a hip injury, spinal injury. I had a lot of facial damage. I had to have my face rebuilt and my jaw wired. So it was a long process of recovery. I was told it would be 5 to 10 years before I would sort of have finished all my operations. So it was a long road ahead for me.
So you had the physical side. What was happening emotionally? Were you still in shock at this point, or?
I think the events of the evening sort of coming to light for me as to what all happened, and sort of put to rest all these feelings that I had been having for months and not understanding what was going on, and feeling very different and not able to explain them. So I think for me it put some of it to rest, but as far as the journey I had ahead was a little overwhelming and scary, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.